Welcome to day 3 then. Kettle's nearly boiled. Porridge and coffee for breakfast. It's a bit misty this morning. Slept well though. Met a bunch of good people last night. But going to go and explore a few caves and things once we get a wee coffee there. I think that's the best way to start off. Good morning from New Aberdour Beach. This has been a really good experience here. Some really nice people. Chatting till about 12 o'clock last night. It was still light, but we're packed up now. We've put a few quid into the honesty box. That helps to keep the services here. They've got toilet on site, they've got bins here as well. Really look after it, and I'll just leave it as you found it. Leave no trace, leave only footprints, as they say, eh? We're packed up, but that doesn't mean that we're heading off yet. We've got a bit of exploring to get done. Got some caves just over on the other side of the bay there. So we're going to take a walk and maybe spot a couple of things whilst we're here. This is day 3 of the trip, so it's the home straight, if you will. And well, just get to see what's en route. Maybe try and find a few places of interest along the way. Well, we never had to go too far for our first point of interest. Filled up here last night. The freshest of water. It's St Drostan's well. This is late 6th century. St Drostan was a disciple of St Columba, and he actually brought Christianity to the northeast of Scotland. The Pict leader allowed him to set up a monastery here, and this is still used for baptisms up until this day. It's pretty tasty water as well. I'm sure it's a welcome addition for a lot of the campers here as well. Save carrying gallons of water. I filled up my bottles last night, so I've got enough to keep me going. I'm not going to be performing any baptisms with it though, I don't think. On to the caves. And the birds are feeding up there, constantly having to come back. Hungry chicks need fed. So, just walked a few minutes along the beach. The birds are nesting, feeding their young. Plenty of insects for them to get. We got a few bites for the midges last night, but they really make use of the rock here. And then one of those moments where you just come around the corner and you see something that you weren't expecting. So the water's still a bit high at the moment, but I reckon you could probably get through there. Maybe another time. Apparently James was here. Looks nothing like me. There's the boats out there in the distance, getting the daily catch. Well, the water might have been a bit high on the other one, but here's another cave going through to the next again beach, so we'll tread carefully. Let's go and have a wee look. I think I said previously, I sort of questioned why I came away for this trip. But the answer is probably why not? You know, I had the opportunity to get away. It's a few days peace and quiet for me and for my wife. Had some really good conversations with people here, just friendly people, just having a chat. I think that's the difference when you go away somewhere on your own, anywhere. You know, there's a lot of like-minded people round about, and it's good to communicate. You know, and it's a funny one because you talk about mental health with people openly, and sometimes they open up even more themselves as well, which is always a good thing. So I'm thankful of that. The charity that I volunteer with was actually mentioned by somebody else, which that just goes to show that it's working. You know, I feel quite privileged to be able to say that I'm part of that organisation, and it's good to hear that it's saving people's lives. It's good to know that the word's getting out there. It doesn't matter where you are, whether it's a rural location or in the middle of a city. You know, people have heard of the group. It's good to know that the word's out there and people know that they can get help when they need to. I think that's the most important part. I don't think there was a lot of support or groups when I was younger, like I said, so to be able to find that bit of comfort now, it makes a world of difference for me and hopefully for other people as well. We're going to head back to the car. I'm going to recharge the batteries on the camera and maybe get a coffee, recharge the batteries for myself as well, and we're going to head on to the next place. But hope you're enjoying the adventure. This is day 3. Don't know what it's going to bring, but let's have a look. No plan, no script, as you know, and no restrictions, can go where we want. So let's head off. And off the rocks, back onto the sand again. So beach time's coming to a close now. Well, this one anyway. So we're going to head on, moving on to the next place, see what else we can find. I think that's the beauty of it. It's just getting out on your own, out of the comfort zone, and just try new experiences. Maybe more pebbles than it is sand, to be honest. But a cracking beach, New Aberdour, if it's somewhere you fancy going, up in the northeast. And well, the weather, I think that's really made it for today and for yesterday. So thanks for that part. Let's see what else we can find. One other thing that I should have mentioned, zero phone signal here. Not a bad thing, not a bad thing at all. As I say, today's the return leg of the trip, just making our way back down the coast. Well, the next stop on the journey, we're in Fraserburgh now. We've got a few little boats there, just in the harbour. But then you actually realise, and the big boys are in town. They're huge. It's difficult to get an idea of the size of them when they're in the water, but when you can see the difference between the little lobster boats there and then the ones that are just slightly bigger, it gives you a better idea there. Let's head along the harbour here and see if we can get a bit of lunch, and then on to the next location. and just taking in a few places that I've never been before, so bit of a journey. So I came to the captain's table for fresh seafood. Literally just been delivered in the door for me, so looking forward to this one. Let's see if they taste as good as they look. Another fresh fish. I've got the locally caught and delivered haddock now. And here's one to split the room. Garden peas or mushy peas? What's your favourite one? Maybe pop it in the comments below. Well, that was the captain's table. That was probably the freshest fish supper that I've had. The fisherman literally brought it in off the boat after I'd ordered it. And scallops were good as well. They knocked a bit off the price that I had to wait there, so fair play to them. Good bunch. That's the captain's table here in Fraserburgh. So day 3, still exploring the northeast of Scotland. We stopped off for some lunch at Fraserburgh, very fresh. Now now that we've had a bite to eat, we're going to head on and have a little look at the next stop off. But we're heading to an interesting spot, shall we say. It's not only the midges that bite in Scotland, but for the midges we use smidge, and that keeps them at bay. For the next one though, we might need to use garlic. I've heard that that works, but just a little bit further up here, and we're going to see some interesting stuff. Hope you're enjoying the adventure so far. I'm having a ball. It's been an interesting trip with a bit of nostalgia thrown in, new places, different locations that I've never been to, and just nice people as well. There's something about travelling on your own where you might be out of your comfort zone, but it's still nice to sort of belong to something, shall we say. So, chatting to a guy last night, one of the guys that were fishing up at New Aberdour, caught a few mackerel there, and he was up with his kids, and they were just enjoying themselves, just enjoying the sunshine, and a spot of camping as well. So, hi to Charlie and the gang, I think, if you're watching this one. And I'll bring wood with me next time as well. Welcome to Slane's Castle and the legend of Dracula. Built in 1597. This is Slains Castle. And it was the inspiration behind Bram Stokers Dracula, or Dracula, or Vlad the Impaler, as he might have been. Had a tendency for getting his enemies' heads and sticking them, quite literally sticking them, putting them on spikes as a reminder to others. Not to mess with them, I suppose. But this castle here apparently gave inspiration to Bram Stoker, who wrote the Dracula that most of us are familiar with. Let's go and have a look. It's an interesting landscape. With the weather today, it's a nice place to come and visit. But if you think of cold winter nights, coming up this path, seeing this silhouetted in the distance, I think it'd be enough to get anybody the fear. It's quite a daunting looking place, in all honesty. Oh, I hope you enjoyed the bat's eye view from there. Let's go and have a wee explore. So having a good look around. And then we find this place here. The crypt. The cellar, perhaps. Maybe Dracula's bedroom. Let's go and have a look. I think I've had enough of this. Let's go back out again. So this has been Slains Castle. Another one to tick off. Another part of the adventure done. And getting ready to move on to the next one. I got bitten in there. It wasn't by Dracula. There was some fly. That's nippy. This is us just coming back to the car now. And it's also starting to signal almost the end of the trip. It's been quite the adventure. Got one more stop off. Planned, unplanned, call it what you will. But hoping that this last one will be a good one. Once again, if this is your first time viewing, maybe check out the back catalogue. We use the outdoors for positive mental health and just recharging the batteries. It's certainly been that today. Unfortunately, the batteries on all the equipment are starting to die now. So it's back to the car and onto the possibly last of our stops before the big drive back home. So this is us at Newburgh now. Behind me is the seal colony. We're over on the viewing side today, keeping away from them. A lot of the problem was when people were coming here that they would stampede the bigger ones. And then obviously that causes harm to the little ones there as well. So it's an SSPCA site now, I believe. And looking after the conservation as well. But it's quite a sound to behold. It sounds like the wind, honestly. It's been 3 days away. We've seen Dunnottar, we've seen New Aberdour, we stopped at Fraserburgh, Slains Castle, and now at Newburgh with the seal colony in the background making some noise there. If you do like these videos, a like and a subscribe does go a long way. Hopefully have a little look at the previous ones if you're new here, and if you're a regular viewer, just a big thank you. Thanks to all the community. It's good to get out and make these videos. Hopefully you found this one interesting. A little bit different to what we normally do, but this has been a 3-day adventure. Call it a 3-day battery recharge. It's not been a reset. As we said before, we're past the resets now. It's time for recharging and new adventures. That's the tide starting to come in again now. It's washing away all the footprints. Starts fresh again in 12 hours. But I'm going to have to move if I don't want to get wet feet. Yeah, I know we said Newburgh was the last stop off, but the sun's still shining. It's still early. And you forget how many amazing places or spaces, or call them what you will, are on the route back down to head home. So with that in mind, another little stop. This one's adorned either Bank of Scotland bank cards, or it might have been on some of the notes. Can't quite remember. So, another cliffside castle. They knew how to make them, I'll give them that. But I never know, how did they manage to get all the materials to such an awkward space when you try and get a delivery for things nowadays, it can take forever. Maybe they never had as much health and safety back then. But this is Dunnottar Castle. Amazing views. And I'll just get to a good spot so that I can show you. It's been a proper adventure. It's feels like I packed in loads, in all honesty. I know I was only away for a few days, but so much in that amount of time. We had our nostalgia in Dingwall, where we treated ourselves to a wimpy and an ice cream float. My wife thinks they're disgusting, by the way. We went up to Dunnottar, nice place. Interesting, it's got a bit of connection with Andrew Carnegie, but I suppose Carnegie's everywhere. Massive philanthropist, gave away the majority of his wealth, which I think there comes a time when you do try to do that. So, I mean, obviously, with that kind of money, you're still living comfortably. But I think at one point he was the richest man in the world, wasn't he? So it's good that he used it for good things. I think there's maybe a few stories about him that might not be so agreeable, shall we say, but he learnt and he made some changes, you know. We left Dunnottar and we got the Cromarty ferry. That was an interesting one. A one-car ferry, 2 cars usually, but I was the only one that was waiting there to go. Nice experience again, getting out on the water. Saw a few jellyfish. I was hoping to catch some seals or some dolphins there, but I was treated to that when we got to Chanoney Point. We got the dolphins there. Hope you enjoyed the footage on that one. And then today at Newburgh, we were treated to the grey seals there as well. Hundreds of them. I hope the footage turns out okay for that one. I might just need to go back up again. We are on the way back home. We did take a bit of a detour once again, but hey, we'll get there. It's a journey, isn't it? I think that's probably been the biggest part of this. The adventure, going away on my own, but maybe just a bit of a journey, just you're capable to do these things on your own. Why do I want to go and do these things? Well, why not? I can go when I want to go. I can see wherever I want to see. I think sometimes the only thing that stops us from going is ourselves. So, no, it's good to push yourself. And yeah, that's exactly what we've done this time. So I'm not going to say this is the end of this episode. I'll probably jinx myself. But we're going to take the drive down. I think we're probably just going to go for the coastal route. I know that there's the direct way, but I don't know, maybe head through Aberdour and down into Montrose, and then head back from there, head back Dundee way and cut through. So let's get back on the road again. But just another final view there. Another safe haven, another fortress, another place that somebody felt safe. So, another stop then. Still got blue skies. Starting to race against the sun now, so starting to set. But another one of these gems, places that I've found just with my wife, just when we've been driving, taking days out. But this one's pretty spectacular. So we're at St Cyrus now. Don't think it's that well known, but it's possibly one of the best beaches that I've been to in Scotland. It's up there in my top 5 anyway, definitely that. And oh, blue skies, blue sea, and sand that just goes on for miles. I'm not going to go down the cliffside. It's a bit of a steep one. We still need to get back home. So this is just a quick stretch of the legs and another stop off, I suppose. I'm sure you're going to enjoy this one. Bye. And it just goes on for miles. Could be anywhere in the world right now. It's a bit of a steep path to get down to it. As I said, I'm not going down, but I will show you, just so that you're aware, in case you decide to come and visit yourself. You'll see what you're having to deal with. The path goes down there, switchbacks on itself, and as you can see, it's a fair distance down, but most certainly worth it. The last time I was here there was paragliders and they were just taken off from the cliff edge and they're straight out, but they're acrobatics and literally just coming back and landing again effortlessly. I'm bad enough trying to get on a plane myself, so I don't know if I'd be getting on some cloth parachute. I know it's a bit better than that, but I like to keep the feet firmly planted on the ground. Well, that was St Cyrus, just a wee quick stop off there, and we're going to make our way back up to the car and get a bit further down the coast. Get a few miles in maybe before the next stop. Okay, so St Cyrus, amazing beach, in the top 5 for me. Where's your top beach? Where do you like to go to? As always, why not pop in the comments below? And if it's in my list, you never know, you might see me there sometime. Oh, nearly back home now. Familiar hills, familiar water. This is the last stop. Thanks very much for watching. Tune in for the next one. Like and subscribe, as we say. And hope you've enjoyed the 3-day adventure. It's been a blast, I've enjoyed it, and looking forward to making the next one. Till next time, it's James at Pedal Paddle Pace. Keep your batteries charged.